Hello everyone, welcome to the Rollers Guild. We are continuing our current campaign, All for One, a Trail of Ash and Sand. Sand.
Sand.
Yes.
Sand.
Yeah.
Ash and Sand.
Yeah.
Sammed.
Yeah, that was a sammed. Alright, as a quick reminder, if you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. With all that said, let's venture forward into today's session. Last time, our party members met the Empress Cora Tashkil. The Empress told the party in a very roundabout way the reason why she requested them specifically to come to Gorul. Afterwards, the party requested to see Morvius Dalmas, also known as the Blood Assassin. While the party was asking Morvius yes or no questions, Haley used his connection to fate and saw the servants of death attacking the kingdom of Gorul. And also on the same night, Haley did see that Morvius was working with a guard, Derek, who happened to be the guard that escorted them to the prisoner Morvius Dalmas. After they figured that out, Ruth ran to inform General Timon. After some convincing, General came over here and arrested Derek for conspiring with Morvius Dalmas. While he was being arrested, Haley and Ruth used their powers together and destroyed the connection between Derek and Morvius. That said, Derek now doesn't know why he's being arrested, because that happened. Okay? All that said, Barrick was just chilling out in the room. So, will the party now figure out how to get to the library, which has been part of their side quest throughout this whole time? Will the party vote to put the Blood Assassin to death for his crimes? And will someone let Barrick know what the hell is going on? Find out tonight in tonight's session, and we'll rejoin the party where we left off, where Haley just told the rest of the party he knows how to get to the library. Haley,
all right. Quick head count. We got everybody?
No, I don't think we do.
Who are we missing?
We have to go get Flora.
And also
Where did
Barrett.
Flora go?
She wasn't
Back-
feeling well.
To the room, I think.
All right. I guess we're going back to the room, and then we'll go to the library.
Yeah, you guys are able to find a guard. A guard was able to give you directions to the guest house where you all will be staying. You eventually get there. No one's like diverting to do something else. Everyone's staying together, correct? Yep, cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You get to this guest house that's within the kingdom, within the temple castle thing that have been walking around this whole time. And you see Barrick, I almost said Derek, Barrick, Amy, and Flora hanging out around the little kitchen table in your guest room. So, Barrick goes, "Hey guys, you were gone a while,
and we're gonna be gone again. We'll fill you in."
What?
But we wanted to grab Flora before we went to the library because we know how to find it now.
Oh.
Are you ditching me?
Aren't you catching up with your sister?
Oh my gosh, no.
We've been here. We've been catching up for the past 3 hours. She has she has to work. Amy goes, yes, I do need to attend to the Empress. I was just keeping my brother company for now. If you wouldn't mind, I don't mean to, pawn him off to you, but.
Well, last I heard, the Empress was in the library, so we're all going the same direction.
In a sense. Good luck finding the library, and she disappears.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Is this a family thing that you guys do? Disappearing?
Yeah, I guess. Well, she doesn't really
Well,
turn
come on.
invisible. She kind of teleports. It's kind of a thing. I actually was able to recharge all my spells too, so I am tip top shape for the next time I need to turn you all invisible and lose you all in a crowd.
Great. We are gonna go read books.
Fantastic. Cool.
Is
So,
there anything you want us to look for in the books?
you're talking to Barrick. Well, if you guys don't mind, I was gonna come along with, unless you guys wanted.
No, you can come.
Oh, okay, cool, fantastic. Oh, sorry, real quick. What did the Empress talk about? How we can get her to not execute the prisoner? Because we need
Working on
to
it.
figure out how we're gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
She's pretty convinced, but
We're gonna get a chance to argue the case before her tomorrow night.
Okay.
So, but and I'm very intentionally not gonna mention the fact that we were discussing maybe not even bothering trying to save him.
Okay.
And hope that everybody else plays along as well. But I'm gonna quickly change the subject and say, but the other thing is there is a there's an attack incoming on the city tomorrow night as well. So,
oh, okay. Do we?
so we got that going on at basically the same time. We're supposed to make an argument to the Empress. So, maybe worth when we get to the library talking to the Empress and figuring that element out. But
Oh, okay. Not a good look that we bring the servants of death along with us.
it wasn't us. That's the good news.
Oh.
So the blood assassin either convinced or brainwashed one of the Empress's guards to send a message to Death's
Derek.
army. Yeah, Derek was the guy's name. He's in jail now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, he's being watched.
no, he's under arrest.
Yeah,
he was arrested.
the army.
But we also don't know if he actually had ties.
Well, I mean, if you convince somebody enough to get him arrested, General Timon doesn't necessarily take traitors.
Well,
lightly.
yes, but we did explain to Timon that we weren't 100% sure how that process happened, whether it was under Derek's own volition or not.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better if he's innocent.
He may not be innocent. He may be, guilty as hell. But the fact is that we know he delivered a message on behalf of the Blood Assassin.
And he'd never helped me out when I fell down.
That's also
that
true.
is a punishable by at least 10 years. So
Thank you.
let's. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. Flora, are you feeling better? Do you need anything before you head out?
No, I'm feeling better. I'm ready to go. Can I sort of I think I'm probably picking up that Haley is not saying something. Oh, I'm very
Oh, you
quiet.
could no, because you muted yourself.
Sorry, I muted myself. No, I'm
we
feeling
go.
better. I think I'm probably picking up that Haley isn't sharing things. No, I'll wait till we get to the library and then I'll try to pull him to the side. Okay.
Okay, I want to just make sure before we go to the library, we know what our priorities are there. So,
We have 17 priorities.
as far as I know, good point, Ruth. As far as I know, though, there are 3 items that we're looking into there. Right? We want to learn more about the obelisks and how to possibly destroy them. Right? That's item 1. Safely. Item 2 is something about a cure to death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a
To
cure to
death's
death's veil.
veil. Cure to the plague. And I swear there was a 3rd item.
Kitsune.
More about Kitsune. I feel like there was another thing. Maybe there's more items.
Barrick speaks up. I mean, it's a library, so presumably, if you guys really want to look for like anything, you probably can find something. So
Anything?
Was there something else that the was going to the library part of our directive, or just a little extra thing we could maybe do?
It was I
know you had
Marrika had to go.
Yeah.
it was Sam talking as the GM. It was more of a side quest, but it seemed very important that you went there. But also, it seems like you will get a lot of answers if you have questions about the world and how things are.
Yeah. So, we want to find out more about Akari's people. We want to see if there's a cure to death spell. We want to see what we can learn about the obelisk.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay.
All right.
Everyone good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Haley, is there a specific way you want to try to follow this line, or do you want to just kind of just?
Yeah, I mean, so operating off of the information that the Empress is in the library, I am just, and because I can identify threads now, I am just going to follow her specific thread from me, I guess, since we're connected now.
Yep.
I'm just going to follow the thread that I'm connected to her with until we find the library.
Sure.
Just pretty much follow it directly.
Yep. So you guys are walking through the halls of this castle or palace. That's a better word. Palace. I'm going to use palace now. Walking through the halls of this palace, and anybody that wants to can do a brain check to see just things going around the world, unless you guys just going to say focus on just trying to get to the library.
No, Akari is never focused.
Your DC is going to be just 5. It's going to be low.
7.
I got a 9.
I got a 1.
Throughout the time that you've been in this palace and the Kingdom of Gorul as a whole, you haven't really seen anyone that wasn't a guard or somebody that worked for the Empress specifically. And you don't really see a lot of evidence of, like, you would think that with a kingdom of many people and and presumably the stories that you've heard that this was a large city where many people from different walks of life came to for a new life, you would have seen someone that wasn't like a guard, but you haven't. So there's that for you. Eventually you come to a wall. Haley, you see the line that's connecting you and Cora is reaching past this wall. This wall has a mural on it. The mural is depicting the globe of the world that you are on, that you live in. The sun, the moons, and the constellations spell out in an old giant language, which Haley's the only one that knows it, unless someone else has studied giantish that I don't know of. The words that are written out in the stars say, I have a spine, but no bones. I hold my secrets, yet they're known. I can be opened, but I have no door. Within me lies endless lore. What am I?
Can I say a book in giant?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I do, because I feel like it should match the language of the riddle.
Yep.
Oh my god, Haley, bless you.
Sorry, I was answering a riddle. Those are giant words, so I was answering.
They are
in
really
giant.
big.
No, like the language giant.
Oh.
As you utter the giantish word a book, the tiles of this mural and the tiles on the wall start to peel away and fold into themselves, opening a doorway. You can see still parts of the mural, the stars that once spelled out the riddle spell a new phrase in Giantish. And it says, knowledge is power. Those who wish to hold it, those who hoard it wish to rule the world. Those who share it will change it. And the door opens, and you guys walk through, and you're in the library. To give a quick description of the library, well, not quick. It's going to be a little bit longer than just quick. You see this wide open, well lit room. It basically is bigger than, it looks like a warehouse stacked on top of warehouse, stacked on top of warehouse. Just that's how big this room is. Floor to ceiling of giant books, like books that are the size of you and bigger. In the center of this room, there is what seems to be a 1-for-1 remake of the globe that is your world. Some of you people have went to the Academy of Order of One, would have seen a globe like this, but this one is truly massive, and it sits underneath a floor of glass. Beyond this globe is the Empress, who seems to be writing down something in a book that she has, and beside her is one of these giant books that she is wide open, and she seems like to be referencing the giant book and then writing something down in a new book. She hears the door open. She goes, "Oh, well, you came here a lot faster. I thought it would have taken you at least a day."
Sorry, we had to deal with another problem before we came here.
Oh, is everything all right?
Yeah, I guess
not.
we should fill you in. So,
You know Derek?
What happened to Derek? It was
he's
just
a traitor.
Oh, and
He's a dirty cop.
he's dirty. Oh no.
We don't know that.
Um,
I think I'm just gonna be looking at all of you confused.
I was.
I'm gonna go to Flora and start whispering everything that happened and filling her in.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I'm gonna also bring Barrick into this conversation for a more thorough recap of what happened as I notice Ruth go over towards Flora. And I'm just gonna say, yeah, so we were starting to strategize about tomorrow evening.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, I thought, boy, it might be helpful if I were to be able to use some of my fate reading powers to learn a little bit more about the blood assassin. That could be helpful for us.
Oh,
so
wise decision actually was something I couldn't think that you would do, but yes.
Yeah, which is why we came to you asking for permission to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were taken to him, and Derek was the guard who was accompanying us. And while we were down there with him, I did a fate reading of the blood assassin. I think Akari did something too.
Well, I tripped.
No, before that, you did a thing to the blood.
Dreams.
Oh, I entered his dreams and he's fucked up.
That's what I was telling you. He's not a good person.
Right,
Yeah.
That's what it was. Well, anyway, so I read his fate and learned a couple of things. First, there's an army on its way here, and they'll be getting here tomorrow evening.
Oh no.
You act like that's not a huge surprise.
Gary, what's happening?
You act like that's not a huge
Insight
surprise.
check.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do that.
Is this a brain
I
check?
get to add my special to this.
All right.
So
So she obviously already knows this is gonna happen.
$27.
Okay, 1 second. I gotta pull up her stats real quick because she does not want you guys to perceive her.
Well, then she should be doing a better job acting.
Yeah.
Because this is worse than I am.
Oh no, she said flatly.
All right. Who beat a 25?
Yeah, right here, dog. 27th.
All right. Those of you who beat a 25, so Haley, you get a slight sense of like cockiness. Like she's not that worried about it.
Gotcha.
Okay, now I want it to burn. Now I want the kingdom to burn.
Wow.
Okay,
I'm
really,
sorry.
you really seem like this isn't a huge surprise to you, which, whatever. But we saw that this was going to happen, and I also saw that the Blood Assassin had a message delivered to Death's army by Derek. So then we turned him over to your wife.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I apologize if I seem not too worried about it. The Army of Flame is quite powerful. We have beaten the Servants of Death many times, and
Hey, Cora. Like,
oh yes, Akari, I have something for you. She pulls out a bag and she goes, the garbs. I forgot. I didn't get a chance to drop these off in your room. If you wanted, this is for you later.
absolutely.
You don't
My
have to.
question
Feel free
was
to not change
completely
it.
irrelevant.
No, what was your question?
No, I'll get changed first.
Oh.
I go off like behind a stack.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Well, welcome to the my library, the world's library. This is what it was originally called. Feel free to look for information, or if you want to know about any historical events, you can see it upon this globe that's underneath you. So feel free to look around.
yeah, much obliged. What is there anything that's not in this library?
Are you asking me as the GM, or are you asking
I'm
Cora?
asking Cora.
It's a side quest.
I don't have your birth certificates in here, but I have a lot of things. But feel free to look for most things. Anything that's anything that's not in here has either been checked out by someone else or has yet to happen, typically.
Well, now I have several questions.
So this library has predictive abilities?
Like I said last we met, I have things that I can do, and I'm not going to reveal them to you yet.
That doesn't seem very nice for the guy who's going to be the next god of fate, but okay.
How would you recommend us going about finding information?
So it is alphabetized. I spent probably a good part of my life organizing it. But you can look by subject. Honestly, you can, if you just ask for what you're looking for, something, you will find it pretty easily. I've spent many a time.
People can check out books here?
If you have a library card, yes.
Can we get library cards?
You are not citizens of Gorul, so no, unfortunately not.
Do you have an out-of-county card where we can pay the tax difference?
This is a country, and there's
there's
not that's
card?
not really a thing here. If you were citizens of Zara, that would be different, but you are not either. We're not even the same country. Not county differences wouldn't even matter.
Right, but you don't have an out-of-country card or country card either, or an interlibrary loan request card.
No.
Hey, Ruth, do you want to look for stuff about the obelisk with me?
Yeah.
So is it alphabetized by
I moved
topic,
6
by
different books
author,
out
by
of order.
title?
Well, it's alphabetized. It's alphabetized by subject. The authors of it, of everything in here, is the people that used to record. So it's not really one individual person that wrote all these things. But it is in Giantish, so you have to understand the Giantish alphabet to understand.
Oh, so none of you can look at anything without me.
Oh no, I have spent years to translate it to Common. So some things might be still in Giantish. I'm currently working on that at the moment. But like I said, if you just speak what you're looking for, you will easily find it.
You really love this library.
Yes. It is everything. And when I'm gone, this will be everything to everyone else.
Akari definitely puts like 3 or 4 different books in different places while she's getting rest.
Sure.
That stresses me out.
Yeah.
That stresses me out.
Yeah.
Lost to time.
So,
Cora?
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
done.
you look
This looks great, by the way. Thank you.
radiant. I
Thank
wasn't
you.
sure
I
about
don't
your
know.
size, but this is pretty good.
Like, I'm canonically a small. So I have a question.
Yes.
Like, where are your people?
Oh, wait.
Like, on holiday? Or like tucked away safely? Or like in an obelisk trapped forever? Like, away could mean a lot of different things.
Well, the people of this kingdom, the giants, are trapped in an obelisk. The people that
Right.
currently reside here are away. They're safe. They're tucked away, safely. Yeah. Some of them are on vacation. It is summer vacation for our schools at the moment, but some of them are. A lot of people are away.
I'm making another insight check.
Sure.
I would like to also.
Not as good.
Boom. Ah. 37.
Okay, well, 21's not gonna do it.
I'm not even close.
Yeah, you're
I
not
got
getting. No one's getting a lot more than what she's saying.
Still pretty sus.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for obelisk books.
Yep, I'll go with you, Ruth. Anybody
Just,
else
like,
looking for
what
obelisks?
we want? We say and like click our heels 3 times, or like go looking and they magically appear.
It's
I'll
more of an
tell you that.
intention thing. Yeah, the book will probably come find you before you find it.
All right, let's
That's exciting.
Veil.
walk this way, Ruth.
Oh,
Obelisk, obelisk.
Yeah, totally. We're gonna walk through, be like, Kitsune, Mark.
Mark.
Mark?
Ruth and Haley, I do apologize. You might best actually look at the globe and ask the globe to show you what the obelisks were. I don't know if I have anything of literature of what these obelisks done.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna stay in the center of the room while the rest of you look at Kitsune and Death's Veil stuff.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so real quick, we'll make this divvied up. Ruth and Haley are hanging out in the middle, looking at the globe for looking more information about these obelisks. I assume Akari is looking for Kitsune's stuff.
Kitsune, eating souls, Mark. Bringing souls back after eating them.
So a diet,
Just to keep
a
the
diet
options
book.
open.
Got it.
Yeah.
And Marrika, you're looking for anything on Death's Veil.
Death's Veil.
Cure.
Cure for.
And I would like to accompany Marrika, but like also look for Death, the individual
Sure.
information. Death, the being. Also, if you can cross-reference to Solar.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's
I want cross-references. I want
Putting in
books that
very
cover both.
Yeah,
Very specific.
can I do a
Yeah.
keyword search?
Yes.
Advanced search.
I'm assisting with all the things, but I'm also looking for information on justice.
Justice.
Yeah.
Or judgment?
Judgment, sorry.
Oh,
On
okay.
judgment.
I was going to say.
concept of the person.
On
Justice. Whoa.
Because I just don't trust the fact that he gave me all my luck back, and I'm worried it's going to bite my friends in the ass later.
Sure. Yep. Totally. Let's let's hang out. Let's go. We'll just start with Haley and Ruth real quick. So you're standing above this this globe, and you're speaking the intention of what you are looking for. The globe seems to turn back several hundreds of years before today. You see the night that the obelisks popped up. You see the armies of the Great Alliance, and you see the armies of the orcs, the giants, and the dragons. I say that, but the armies of anyone but the Great Alliance didn't seem like they were aware of the situation. It definitely seems like this was a surprise attack. The globe focuses you more on what happened in Zara specifically, because that's where you are. And you see a purple flash of light that seems to be traced back to Nexus City. This obelisk appears and absorbs all of the standing giants in around it, and the Great Alliance afterwards destroys all the other giants that were not absorbed. You see a little girl walk out from the Kingdom of Gorul, probably no bigger than 5 years old. And she puts her hands out and she lights the Great Alliance army ablaze. And then she turns around, walks back.
Aura.
Do you want any more investigation on
Yeah,
that?
I mean, didn't want to just know how they got there. We want to know how.
I'm interested in the runes and that hammer and the person that made it.
And also, I'm interested in, because I saw the vision of Ruth touching it and we all got sucked inside, I'm interested in how we fulfill Ruth's mission from God to destroy the obelisks without, like, safely for us.
You speak that you want to know more about the runes and how they were built. And similar to the vision that you had, the world turns back, and it seems to be more in the northwest of the main continent of the world. Here, I'm going to quickly pull up the map because I don't have it memorized in my head. Closer to what was once known as Amanthia City, the city of gnomes. The globe seems to peer through the earth itself, and you see the woman that you saw, Ruth, with Marrika, chiseling at these black obelisks into the runes. Runes into these black obelisks. And you see that the collar that you saw her in is still there. Haley, you're seeing this, and you see that there's actually a connection that's leading from the collar to somewhere else, but you don't know where.
Can I get a name on that connection?
It's something that you can't touch because it's something that you can see the lines of the past, but it's not, you're looking through glass itself. Like, there's no way you can actually interact with them.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make a little lawyer argument here,
Mm-hmm.
and if you still say no, I will abide by that decision, Mr. Judge. It says you can now tell the difference between the strings.
Oh,
You can
okay.
tell with no trouble what strings belong to people you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this may not belong to someone I know, but it doesn't say anything about me having to touch the string. If you, Mr. Judge, say that the circumstances of this particular thing are unique in such a way that I cannot tell who this line goes to, by all means, I will abide by that decision. But
Sure.
that's my lawyer argument. Thank you, the court.
The court recognizes Haley Osborne's argument, and it will be sustained. You see the line, and you can actually pan over and kind of trace it with your hand. It's kind of like a big touchscreen, essentially, is what you guys are doing. And you see this gnomish figure in the dark,
Okay.
specifically trying to hide themselves.
Do I recognize the gnomish figure beyond the fact that they're a gnomish figure?
Looks someone that looks pretty young, like a young gnome.
So
Can I see? Is there any way we can like cross-reference this with maybe other things in the library that would show what those runes come from or what they mean?
Yep, sure.
do you know the name of this person, Ruth?
No, we only know that they are probably connected to that automaton that Marrika saw.
Do we know that figure's name?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
Hmm.
I will say that Cora did reference that Marrika's powers come from a person that was once known as the Great Technician.
Right.
So maybe if we look up stuff about the Great Technician, we can figure out who this lady is, and what her connection to the obelisks. I'm gonna. So that gives us another trail to follow. I do just want to ask again of the globe, how do we destroy the obelisk, without us getting sucked inside of them? See if the globe can manage that one.
So the globe is just showing you things that have happened. You're kind of looking for things that could happen. So
Right.
that would be more like look for a book that actually says anything about these obelisks. So
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but Cora said we should look at this first.
no, sorry, she's just the
Okay.
empress of the whole fucking desert.
Okay.
Can she see what we're seeing?
Yeah, she can.
Is she looking at us right now?
She's curious. Yes, she's.
Do you see that 5-year-old girl, Cora?
Yes, I did
You know that girl?
very well.
That makes me sad.
Cora, question for you.
Yes.
We're not just interested in the history of these obelisks. Ruth here was asked by God to destroy them.
That's crazy, but okay.
One has tasked you to destroy the obelisks.
It would appear so.
Strange.
I agree. That's why I was confused.
See, this is what
Especially because they were the one that gave the power to the Great Alliance to put these in action.
Did they give the Great Alliance that power?
So, I often have to remind myself that the world today is not how the world used to be. There was a great understanding at one point that one wasn't necessarily to be worshipped, to be somebody to give out permissions and powers to. There's actually only record of 2 people to receive the powers of one. You
One
being
being
of them.
Liam McCarthy.
No, not McCarthy.
But
McCarthy
one did give a blessing.
gave the gift of immortality and one boon
Right.
to
Right.
them, which is a wish.
But why would they give that to Liam McCarthy if they didn't believe in what they were going to do?
Liam McCarthy and other people ended the Great War, and one gave them a gift for doing such a good job. That is the best way I can explain that.
So one signed off on it, even if one didn't enact the power itself. And you're also saying, by the way, it sounds like what you're saying about one only having chosen 2 people in the past is that it's more like my kind of relationship with the lines, almost. Not necessarily that the chosen will, or maybe a better analogy would be Ellinor's connection with Solar as like a chosen avatar.
The way I would describe it is as such, and I know this because it is written in one of the books that you could find here. There have been only 3 mortals that went into the mountain and met with one, 2 of which received a gift from one itself. One of those 2 people is Ruth.
I'm in the library.
Of course.
Publication dates here are crazy expedited.
Wild.
It happened 5 years ago.
5
I had to
years
keep.
ago.
I know that, but I didn't tell anyone.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to circle back to this. We became interested in the obelisks when we learned from Xavier about how they were used. And then we wanted to check them out, and that interest only increased once. And Ruth, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking when I said what I said just like a couple minutes ago. And
That doesn't surprise me that you weren't thinking.
Secret, but
Oof.
Our desire to figure out more about the obelisks only increased after the rest of us learned that one had charged Ruth with destroying the obelisks. So I tried to do a fate reading to see what would happen if we went to an obelisk, and I saw that we would get sucked into it the moment Ruth touched it. And, obviously that doesn't seem good, and doesn't seem like a real good way to get Ruth's job done. And also, would be nice to free the people inside, but we can't do that if we get sucked into the first obelisk that we try to destroy. So,
Well,
you know this library better than anyone.
Thank you.
Would we be able to find information in here about how to destroy the obelisks?
I and the people that came before me recorded the information of the world in this library of things that once was and had happened. There's not a lot of information on these obelisks or how to destroy them or get rid of them or revert. Trust me, if I could have reverted them, I would have done it by now. But
so it does seem like we just need to learn more about those runes.
I want to read the book about the other person that got one's powers.
Yeah, who is the other person?
Are you asking me, or do you want to find out in a book? I don't want.
I want to read it.
Okay. Oh, well, that's why I asked. Sometimes...
No, I'm saying that to Haley, not you.
Okay, then we'll find it.
Cool. We'll leave from you two real quick, and we're gonna head over to Akari. So Akari, you're just looking for Kitsune.
Mark, Kitsune, eating souls, spitting them back out.
I love that you're just saying that out loud.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around.
That is true. It's very funny. Eventually, you see Amy, Barrick's sister, go. I'm sorry. I don't know if my brother told you. I did a whole study on kitsunes when in high school.
Oh yeah.
So
He did tell me.
Yeah. If you have any questions, I feel free to ask. But I do have a book of kitsunes and the history of them here. If you want, or whatever. Sorry, I'm just nervous. You're very pretty, and I get nervous around cool people.
Gosh, well, that's how you win me over. Show me your book.
Yes. Pulls down. It's not a very, very big book, but it has lots of fun pictures. She hands it to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure it's great.
Open up the book. You can see that kitsunes, specifically when it comes to eating souls, the more souls they eat, the more bestial they become in form, and the more powerful they become. Souls that are eaten by kitsunes stay within the kitsune until the kitsune releases them. In this world specifically, this is not to do with the real lore of kitsune. This is my world. I'm telling you, the audience, if I am changing this because I am the GM and because blah blah. Kitsunes, the book says the kitsunes at a time long before worked with the deity known as Solar to help transfer souls from the mortal realm to the afterlife. In exchange, they would eat the souls of the damned.
Oh, sure. But, like, is there a way to, like, recapture someone that you release? Or are they, like, gone forever? Like, if they were released and then they did something bad, like, could you get them back?
Well,
Control them.
Amy speaks up. It goes, I guess from what I understand from my research, a soul is almost a physical item. Think of it like a ball that a kitsune can throw away and grab back as soon as they are close to the ball itself. So if you're looking to reclaim somebody that you had once given away, you would just have to re-eat their soul.
Probably need to use different tricks than the last time. Okay.
I won't ask because that seems personal and I don't want to push.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is really helpful. It's a great book.
I have
Is it in common?
Is it? Yes, it's in common.
Great.
Amy goes, I do have to ask, kitsunes haven't been seen in the mortal realm for probably the past 1,000 years now. Why are you here? How did you get to be around?
Amy, I definitely wish I had an answer for you. Like, I've been cooped up in whatever the name of that forest is that's in my backstory.
Highfeld.
Yeah. I've been cooped up there, like, going to school, just like trying to live a normal life, blending in all the Spider-Man in high school. And
I don't get the reference, but okay.
Okay, you don't like have to. It's a kitsune thing. And like I've been working at this magic shop and like apprenticing under this really talented con artist. But I actually have like abilities, so I like help her out a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, don't tell her I said that. Like it's really like not okay. Anyway, that's off track.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I feel
That's true. I never gave you her name. So long story short is I really don't know.
okay.
That's just kind of what I know is that I've been there and working, and I have no idea like if I have like a mom or a dad or if I just like poofed into existence or if I've been here all along. I really like just don't know. And that used to like keep me up at night and give me like existential crises, but then I kind of got over it. And really focused on this guy Mark, who was really annoying but like really good looking. So then Mark and I started going steady for a little bit. This continues for a long time.
Yeah. At some point, Amy goes, Did you want a family of kitsunes, or do you want to know more about that? Because I think I know the answer to what you're looking for, of why you came to be. Not necessarily why you're here, but how you became.
Gosh, Amy, spill the beans.
Much like the legendary phoenix, kitsunes are never die. They are often reborn after a certain age. Their flame is eternal. So it's when a kitsune either becomes too powerful, or is defeated in a battle, which is unfortunately what I've been hearing from the other afterlife has happened quite a few times. They're often reincarnated into another kitsune. So you may have been summoned here by a great, powerful witch or something like that. I know that the servants of death often use the powers of the kitsune to travel in between the realms.
Well, that would be alarming.
Well, not voluntarily, from what I hear.
Like, do you also have any, like, books on, like, really happy things? Or, like things that aren't depressing or stressful? Like picnics?
Oh, right, we have 101 ways to make a dinner for your favorite dates right here.
I think that's exactly what I need right now.
Here you go. After everything's going down, and if you're still in the city and you're not escorting the prisoner back to next to the city, or if you just come back. We'll go out. We'll have a girls' day. Okay?
Oh my God. With, like, all the people?
No, well,
Like, us and, like, the public?
out. Well, yes, we'll be out in public. Yes, we're not.
Oh my gosh. Like, where are the, like, really fun, like, clubs and, like, places to go around here?
Girl, there's this new club that just opened up last weekend. It's called The Heat.
Yeah.
Whoa. If you're looking for some, sorry, I'm getting a little bit too hot and flustered.
Oh my gosh, no, it's called Heat.
Anyways, yes, we'll have a good time. I'm sorry. You just seem like I can be a friend to you. I apologize.
Like, everyone in this country wants to go clubbing with me, and I'm totally for this.
Everyone's here just for a good time. All right. We're going to do Marrika, Ellinor, and what are you looking for? Judgment again?
Judgment, but I'm also, I think, helping Marrika too.
Yeah. Marrika, you were able to find a old medical textbook, but but the only reason why you think it's a medical textbook is because it has the symbol of the two snakes spiraling around across. But it's actually all handwritten in common. This seems to be a journal from somebody named Ezra Evenwood, or anagram being EE. You're looking through it, and he has a lot of extensive information on Death's Veil. He has determined the only way to cure Death's Veil is that you can't without sacrifice. It seems like this individual has had to deal with death, the entity, quite a lot through his life, and has determined that Death's Veil can be cured by sacrificing another life. He references that he has figured out a ceremony to do such a thing, but does not list what the ceremony actually is. You're muted. Ben.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It kept picking up my typing sound, so I muted it.
You're fine. Double mic setup. I totally understand.
Can I look for a book about ceremonies to death?
Yeah. You get a lot of old stuff from the old servants of death of like people sacrificing other people for death. You don't get necessarily what is referenced in the book.
I don't find another EE book.
Nope.
What was his name?
Ezra Evenwood.
Well, that sucks.
Ellinor, you're looking for stuff about Death, the entity, and the connection to Death and Solar, correct?
Yes.
You're able to find something pretty easily. You're just walking along with Marrika and Flora, and after Marrika finds her book that she was looking at, another book falls out of a bookcase. It looks like the force that it hits the ground seems like something pushed it. You're able to find the name of death, which was somebody named Xavian. It's Avian with an X. All right. No last name, just the first name. And you see that he was once a high sought-after political figure that worked in what is now known as the Kingdom of Highfield's Keep. Somebody that the people liked. You do see notes taken that some people didn't like him, but regardless, he was a devout follower of Solar, and after he died of old age, Solar tasked him with the job of ferrying dead souls from the world of the living to the afterlife and where their final resting place is. This seems like this is far after the Kitsunes no longer did that anymore. It seems like it was fairly recent in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Is there anything like after that initial, like how he came to be death, like information?
Yeah, so
more recent on like how did he get to who he is now with like the
you're thinking this. Another book seems to be pushed off of the same bookcase, falls to the ground, opens to the page that has the information that you're looking for.
Perfect.
Yep, perfect.
This library's cool.
Oh gosh, sorry, I'm so clumsy. Just kidding.
You can see that shortly after, and there doesn't seem to be much description, but shortly after the obelisks were put into place, Death decided to become more, I don't know, ruthless. Death's Veil was already a thing, was rampant. It seems like there was an entity in this world that had angered Death, either by denying him the souls that he's meant to ferry over, or basically just got on his bad side. It seems like this person that lived in the world pissed Death off so much that he decided to make a plague to kill everyone. And after the obelisks were put in place, there was less magic in the world to stop him. With the dragons, the giants, and some of the orc kingdom gone, there was a lot less hurdles to jump over for total takeover.
Okay. Marrika, I think this may be something you're interested in. It seems as though the obelisks were, well, before they were installed, there was much more magic in this world, and perhaps if that should come back, I don't know how, we may have an easier way of defeating Death's Veil.
Yeah. Did it say anything? Did it? Did it say anything about how he created Death's Veil? Like, is it magic? Is it like biochemical warfare?
You say that out loud. In your book starts the textbook from the notebook from Ezra Evenwood begins to flutter. Pages start to lay over, and you see that in this notebook there seems to be notes of what Death's Veil is. It looks like it is a mixture of all the forms of magic and something physical as well. It seems like there's an actual infection that infects the body and then drains the soul of the magic essence that every soul has over time.
Gotcha.
And in the notes that you see, you also see that this is why it's so hard to cure and so hard to treat, is because it's not a virus per se, but it is also a curse.
Hey, library. Do you have any other books by this guy? Anything?
Nothing.
No.
You do see in the book that Ellinor is reading starts to flutter over, and it does go in detail of that the person that pissed Death off enough to make this plague was Ezra Evenwood.
And then he... Jesus, dude. What did you do? But it doesn't say what.
No, not necessarily. That would, I think, has to go. That's a different book that maybe other people are looking for right now.
If anybody finds a book that mentions Ezra Evenwood,
And at this point,
or somebody pissing off Death,
real quick, Flora,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for anything that
Is
has to
he
do with
judgment?
you have to look for anything with judgment.
Yep.
You really don't see a lot to do with what judgment does. You do see a lot of things referencing judgment as the entity that decided where people go, but not necessarily what their means are today.
What about luck? Like the concept of luck.
The concept of luck.
Like luck in relation to anything magic, or judgment in relation to luck. I don't know. I think I'll just start saying random things.
Keywords, key phrases.
Keywords that might prompt a book to fall in front of me.
You're just randomly saying all these different things. Chip at this point has scurried out from your pocket and climbs up on the shelf and just squeaks at you. Just
Okay, I'll grab whatever book he's with.
You see, it is a book called One's Connection to Us All. And it goes in detail of what the magic of this world and how it kind of works and how life itself works here.
Okay.
It seems like everything has a magical exchange rate.
Okay.
And those that are lucky, specifically fairies, are more endowed with magical value. Specifically, the luck of a fairy is a very key component of their lucky value, of their magical value.
Okay. I don't know if that would be super new information to Flora, but maybe it would help to confirm some.
Sure.
things.
Totally.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go back to Haley and Ruth. What were you guys looking for again?
So, the guy that... The mechanic guy, what was his name again?
The great technician.
The great technician, that's right. And we know that
Rune,
was...
and also the other people that got one star.
Yes. So we're trying to find out more about that lady that we saw. We know she's connected to the great technician. So I guess we're starting with the great technician, and then we find her name. We'll follow up on that. Also, I didn't think of this in time. When we were looking at that vision, because I can read every language, the runes, did they say anything, or were they just like esoteric shapes?
Esoteric shape.
Okay. That was my first instinct, but then I remember, well, maybe they said something, and Sam wanted me to ask, and then I didn't ask.
No. You know what? And I appreciate that. If I was a more clever GM, I would totally do something like that. But no.
No, hey, sometimes shapes are just shapes, man.
And the way I have always pictured runes in like magical senses, that like the rune doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just more the intention of what was being carved when the rune was placed.
Sure. Nope, that's fine. I just wanted to check. So yeah, I guess looking for stuff about the great technician and also about the other Ruth's predecessor, I guess.
Yep. You come upon a book that seems to draw you closer. And Haley, with the intention that you're speaking, you see a line connecting both you and Ruth to this book. It is listed of the Great Three. It seems to be a historical book. Cora, at this point, comes over and goes, I assume both of you were raised in the Order of One and the Great Alliance and has only heard of the history spoken by the Order of One, correct?
Yeah, I kind of felt like they were hiding stuff from us.
Well, you would be correct. They are hiding many things from you. After the obelisk came about, there seemed to be a great effort from the Order of One to destroy the history books that had already been published. And they promptly rewritten them and republished them. And I'm sure the ones that you're currently aware of are the ones that they put forth. This one was written before they were all destroyed. So you might find some things that entice you. So this one is called the Great Three, and it goes on about a story about the Great War that happened. That was the war between the Great Alliance, the giants, the dragons, and the orcs. But from what you heard all your lives, that it was Liam McCarthy that ended it single-handedly and was given a immortality from one and a boon from one because of his efforts, when in fact it was Liam McCarthy and two other individuals. People that are listed in this book as the Great Technician and the Great Doctor. Mm-hmm. Specifically, you see the names Liam McCarthy was known as the Shield. Sylvia Vex was known as the Great Technician. And Ezra Evenwood was known as the Great Doctor. It seems from the abilities of all of them combined, McCarthy was able to hold back armies single-handedly with just the might of his own ability. Sylvia Vex was able to build devices and machines that were able to overcome all the mightiness of dragons and giants. And Ezra Evenwood was able to heal all those around him with just a simple flick of a wrist. His healing magic was unmatched at the time. you go on and see a little blurb that was written that Ezra Evenwood had healed so many people that death became upset because he was used to the Great War creating so many casualties. And then that's all stopped abruptly.
Okay. So, hold on.
Anyways, so you're looking for more about Sylvia Vex, who is the great technician. She was known to be a expert rune crafter and worked with the Order One after the Great War to set forth a standard of magical use. And she worked with the Order One's leader specifically at the time to do that, when suddenly she vanished and has not been seen since. Reading
Is there
more,
anything in here about her, about how, I guess, they made the obelisks and if she was involved in it?
based on your description of what her powers would be, because she was able to create things magically in an instant, it seems like the obelisks were crafted by her specifically.
Okay. And do we get the sense that she was the person we saw in that vision?
You see a little blurb that had 3 sigils on it. One was the gear that Marrika noticed, that was in relation to the automaton. There was a shield that had a triangle in it, and there was 2 snakes that had formed into a triangle shape as well. So yes, you think that you get that she's the same person that you saw in the vision.
Okay. What do you think, Ruth?
Yeah. Sure is a lot. Where are these people from? Does it say where they're from?
Yeah. If you want to dive back, there's a little bit like a bio of all of them. Ezra Evenwood came from a small farming village that is no longer there, but was just outside of the border of Mithrin and Eldoria, which is where Nexus City and Highfield's Keep are. Sylvia Vex was born and raised in born and raised in Nexus City. What would be Nexus City? She was not there before she was born. And Liam McCarthy, I keep on wanting to call him Evenwood. Liam McCarthy was also born and raised nearby Nexus City. It seemed like, geographically speaking, there was not a lot of places that these people could go if you outside the Great Alliance. You see that Liam McCarthy is an elf. You know that because you've met him before. It is referenced that Ezra is a human and Sylvia is also a human.
It's weird that these people all were from the area that is now Nexus City. Yeah. And the Great Alliance has worked really hard to kind of just scrub them from the whole.
Right. What did these two do that made McCarthy want to pretend like it was just him?
Unless McCarthy is dealing with death somehow and is trying to work with death, or if maybe Sylvia was going back on the obelisks, or I don't know.
As we're talking about any of this, are any new books popping up?
Nope.
Okay. Um,
I want to know about the other person that got one's gift.
Oh, in the bio is Sylvia Vex. You can see that she was given one's gift from the mountain.
so it looks like we found your predecessor here. So
Wait, who was?
Wait, weren't there 3 people that went in the mountain? Oh, right. So 3 people
two
went.
of them, 3 people met one
One.
who got powers from one. You and Sylvia.
So who was the 3rd person?
It's not really listed. I mean, you could ask the librarian.
Who is the librarian?
Cora? She's the only. It's her and Amy, and Cora's the only one that's been talking to you about books the entire time.
Cora, being a librarian is a civil service position.
Yes, and
You cannot be a civil servant and also the person employing the civil servants.
That seemed like a conflict of interest.
Serve
Yes.
my people the best ability that I can, and honestly, this is kind of a hobby for me, and I don't really take.
Does anyone else want to be a librarian here?
Allowed? Yeah, definitely. All of them.
But no one wants to do it.
No, all
That
the
would
other.
require a population to exist.
Yeah, the population does not exist, I fear.
Wait, Cora, who was the 3rd person to go into the mountain in C1? Me?
Mhm.
Sylvia.
Laura.
You, Sylvia. This is not going to be found in any books, but I know just because I know. Ezra Evenwood was also met with one and rejected one's gift.
Okay.
So then,
Hold on. There was an option
You
to reject the gift?
well, yes. You can always reject the gift that you get from the mountain.
Hey, that's
I
also
feel
news.
like that wasn't
I just wanna
explicitly
say-
told to me.
That's also news to me. I didn't realize rejecting the gift was an option.
Here's the thing. You people entering the mountain has been regularized by the Order of One. The Order of One has a really good job of not telling people what they can do and what they cannot do. The Order of One also
Why do they want us to enter the mountain? I mean, it seems like a pretty big liability to have anybody in the population go into the mountain and possibly meet with gods.
You'd have to ask them. It's really a birthright of the world to be able to go into the mountain. It used to be voluntary, but it seems now it's not necessarily
I
voluntary.
mean, it is voluntary. They don't hold you a gunpoint.
Yeah, but
telling you to
everyone
go
who's
in,
anyone
but
goes into the mountain.
everyone does eventually go into the mountain. But
I'm not there.
I wanna backtrack here a little bit because Ruth, we need to work through some things. Okay.
It seems like you
So-
need to work through a lot of things.
Yeah. That's neither here nor there right now. I'm the next god of fate, and there's nothing I can do about it now. So Sylvia goes into the mountain, and she gets a power from one. We don't know precisely what it is, but it seems to be creation oriented.
Yes, she was
That is, of course, what allows her to do all the stuff that it says she could do in this book, but also, presumably, is how she's able to create the obelisk.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
So, she was given the power to create, and then Mama Gugosh called you the Destroyer.
Oh, that's rude.
So you're the opposite of Sylvia.
Do you think they offered Ezra destruction powers?
Try and balance it, maybe. That would explain why he turned it down. It didn't seem like he was all that interested in
So
destruction.
they went into the mountain before the war.
So, okay.
They went into the mountain before they ended the war anyway.
Yes.
Right?
The Great War spanned before their lifetime. Before it used to be the Order of One, which Liam McCarthy and Sylvia were attending the schools there. They both went into the mountain at the same time. They both were roughly around the same age at the time. I believe they were about 12. And Ezra, I believe, was barded by the Order One to go into the mountain and snuck in himself at some point.
Was that at the same time that Liam and Sylvia went in?
I don't believe so. I believe he did it after. Well, I can't. That's not my business to say. What after what?
After the obelisks?
No, before that.
After Death's Veil?
Before that.
So war starts. Liam and Sylvia are they're the same age. They go into the mountain.
All right. So, war starts.
Yes.
All this time happens.
Yes.
Sylvia, Liam, and Ezra are born.
Got it.
They do their things up until they go into the mountain.
At 12. Ezra later.
Ezra went, I believe he was also 12 at the time.
Got it.
Went into the mountain, got their respected powers. Well, Ezra didn't get that powers from the mountain.
And Liam didn't get powers.
Liam got his powers from the mountain. His powers are to...
It's not from one.
Just not from one.
Got it.
Like how Haley's doesn't have his abilities from one.
Right.
Okay? Not everyone talked to one. Only really you did in this room in the mountain.
Well, also Sylvia and also Ezra.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that all happened. They become adults. They join the army of the Great Alliance. They end the war. Death's Veil happens shortly afterwards. Both Sylvia and Ezra disappear. And then the obelisks happen.
Wait, the obelisks happened after they disappeared?
Yes.
I thought the obelisks are what ended the war.
No. The obelisks, there was the end of the war, and then there was the final battle.
Right.
It was a
right
surprise attack.
About that.
Because there was a rumor going around within the Great Alliance that the giants, the orcs, and the dragons were going to attack.
They were going to break the terms of the treaty that ended the war.
Correct.
And so the Great Alliance struck first.
That is...
Supposedly, that's the story, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we think Sylvia created the obelisks then, and that's where she disappeared to, right? I wonder if the reason why one chose you, Ruth, as the destroyer to counterbalance Sylvia as the creator is because one had never intended Sylvia to create something like the obelisk. But once one gave Sylvia the power, it was Sylvia's to do with as she saw fit. And that was what Sylvia saw fit to do with her powers.
I just don't understand how, like, an all-knowing being wouldn't foresee that.
Is one all-knowing, though?
I mean, I am, like, following the faith. I guess I just always assumed that they would be all-knowing. But then when I met them, they didn't really seem to have anything together. They didn't really seem to understand what was happening. They didn't really even seem to be kind of recognizing. They seemed to kind of be out of touch with what was happening. And they were kind of like, hey, you know, like this happened and it's not really working for me. And I want you to just go back on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess I just assumed they would have had the foresight or the forethought to think, oh, okay, giving power to creation to one human, probably not a good idea. But they did it.
But they did it. And now they've given you an equal and opposite power of destruction, in the hopes that you use it correctly.
Cora.
Not that I don't trust you, I'm just saying, I agree with you, not super good foresight on one's part.
Cora interjects and says, I think you're holding on to what one may have told you, saying that you are its destroyer, a little bit too much. One's great abilities was to create and destroy in a simple task, but it both come from one. They are both the same side, different sides of the same coin.
Right.
But that's not to say that you also can't create.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to practice that, and it's a lot of points.
Okay. I don't get the reference of the points things, but all right.
I would need like 6 more points to do that. So.
I do understand that. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever set that point was very generous of only putting it that low.
Wait.
What?
Oh no, I can just do that.
Yeah.
Can I try to make something real quick?
Sure.
Can I make a little wooden mouse figurine? Can I try it?
Sure. Tell me how you do it.
I'm literally just gonna do it like I do when I destroy things, where I just hold it and I go boop.
Yep. You imagine it, and then it's in your hands.
Okay.
Cora goes, see?
So maybe I should just create a bunch of obelisks.
No.
And I should put all of the people in the obelisks. And then it's all
everybody's trapped.
And then we're all in the same boat.
I am beginning to regret bringing you here.
No.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an even bigger obelisk.
No,
and I'm gonna make twice the amount that Sylvia did.
Ruth, I do think
you see Cora visibly start to get upset.
Ruth, hey, Your Majesty, I'm so sorry. Ruth sometimes just says things.
That's not funny.
I don't think she's trying to be funny. I think she's just thinking out loud.
Cora, I do not think this is funny. At all.
Okay, then stop joking about the almost the genocide of the people that once here.
But then why pick one person who doesn't know anything about any of this to get involved?
I think that you're not getting the part that one is deranged and has been so since the beginning.
So then why don't I just do nothing?
That is also an option. To do nothing is also not a good option.
None of it's a good option.
The way I see it, Ruth, you have this power, and we know that there's an injustice. For most of my life, I and the other members of my band saw injustice in the world around us, but didn't really have any tools to fight back against that injustice. So we made angry music about that feeling of helplessness. And, I genuinely believe there is power in art. And I genuinely believe that giving people something to latch on to, something that spoke to that feeling that things in the world weren't right, I think there was and it remains value in that. But at the same time, if we had power to affect change, I think we would have chosen to do that instead of making a band. I think we as a group have an opportunity to try and make the world a better place. And I think one of the ways we can try to do that is to attempt to reverse this genocide. But you're key to that. And if it's not something you feel comfortable doing, then we don't have to keep looking at it from this angle. We can find some other way to change the world for the better. Or you can do nothing. It's up to you. I want to use my powers to try to help people.
I just feel like if one, as Cora says, is deranged and doesn't know what they're doing, and they gave their power to someone, and that person royally fucked up that power. Excuse my language, Your Highness.
I don't fucking care.
And then gives an equal amount of power to another person to fix what the other person did. What if Sylvia also thought that she was in the right?
You know,
what if we all get sucked into the obelisk? What if the obelisk breaks now? Everyone's here, and you have all these displaced people.
Yeah,
I apologize, Ruth. I think you're also assuming that Sylvia wanted to do it.
Well, she had a collar. So I'm saying probably not. And also in the vision, she seemed to be talking about how she couldn't talk.
All right.
I understand your point, Ruth, and if it's something that Sylvia did actively choose to do, which it remains to be seen if it is something she wanted to do or if it was something she was forced to do. But if it is something she wanted to do, she probably did think she was doing the right thing. I feel like most people do what they believe is the right thing. No one thinks they're the villain of their own story. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try and fix the problems that past generations made. And that doesn't mean we won't create our own problems in the process. But hopefully the problems that we leave behind will be less big than the problems that past generations left for us. And then the next generation has to deal with a smaller mountain of problems. And then maybe the next generation after that has to deal with an even smaller mountain of problems. And maybe that generation screws up and they add some more to the pile. And then the next generation after that has to chip it back down again. I don't...
I understand completely what you're saying. I've lived my whole life wanting to do good. But then I found out that was all just for nothing. And now here I am.
I don't necessarily think it was.
Maybe
right?
so, but that's how I'm feeling.
So, everyone is currently still in the library. Do we feel like we got all the information that we wanted to from the library? Do we want to move on, or do we want to... Is there one more thing we want to do here?
I'll share with the stuff we found out with Marrika in case there's more questions she has regarding that.
Yeah, I think we should... I'm perfectly happy to share what we learned with everyone.
So this Ezra guy figured out a cure for death. Death got mad, made Death's veil, and there's some sort of sacrifice and ceremony that can get around it, but you have to sacrifice someone to end Death's veil.
And before Death was the person that carried souls, the Kitsune did?
It sounds like Sounds like the easiest option would be get rid of this death guy, but
I don't know if that's easy.
Can we just do a kill someone ceremony but sacrifice death?
We
Or
don't even
revive
know what
someone?
the ceremony is.
I
He didn't write it down, unfortunately.
do feel like we need to find out what happened to both of them, Evenwood and
Sylvia.
Sylvia. Because I think, based on the sort of vision that you two had, it seems like Sylvia's still around. So we should at least be able to talk to her.
Yeah, she's around, but not doing
Jailed
great.
some.
Maybe potentially in the earth.
Yeah.
If we can find out where she is, and if we can free her, she may have a way for us to destroy the obelisks. But all of that has to be on hold until we finish our business here. And then I don't even know how we go about figuring out where she is. Unless that information somewhere in here.
I was expecting something, but no.
Nope. Oh well. It was worth a shot. And maybe she knows where Evenwood is or what happened to him. I would also like to know why Liam McCarthy really wanted to pretend like those two never existed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, regardless of if we have the Blood Assassin with us, it sounds like we're going to have to go back to Nexus City.
Mark wasn't like the best quarterback. He wasn't the starting quarterback originally, but
did the starter get injured?
Well, yeah, the starter just seemed to get injured, and then the other guy had some I never really learned what happened, but had some home troubles and stopped doing well in school, and then he
Wait,
got really
Mark wasn't
distracted.
even the backup. He was the third string.
Listen, this all happened before I started dating him, and then I found out after the fact, and it was ick, right? So I'm just saying, maybe even I don't know. I'm over here having a picnic with Amy. We're having a great time over here. I haven't really been listening, but it just seems like maybe Evenwood didn't like being third quarterback.
I see what you're saying.
I'm deep into some nice cheeses and teas and a couple
I see what you're saying, Akari. I think it might be a little more than he just fucked off somewhere because he was tired of being the third string.
I think it's a little more sinister than that.
Or
Unfortunately.
maybe he was first string situation and Liam McCarthy was third string situation and Liam McCarthy disappeared him.
I
Oh my
mean,
gosh, that's what I meant to say.
Gotcha.
That makes a little more sense. That makes a little more sense. I get it now. Okay.
Akari is 3 glasses of wine in.
yep.
I mean,
Why are all my characters obsessed with wine?
I mean,
Liam was the only one that didn't initially get talk to one, right?
I don't think he's talked to one at all. What evidence do we have that he's actually
just
talked to
gotten
one?
a gift from one.
So he claims.
Well, fair. Maybe he got.
Did
the
he
gift
go into
from
the
Jack.
mountain when
Wait,
everyone was 12?
Was he the one that didn't have any? Oh yeah, we don't know that. Okay.
No. You know that,
Oh.
but Cora doesn't
Oh.
know that yet.
No. He
Yeah,
totally
it didn't
didn't
have-
have
oh, okay.
manners.
You say that it didn't have any, and I look at you.
Manners.
Yeah, he
He didn't have any manners. He was real
Really
rude.
He and Derek,
He
besties.
he was a real dick about me putting my feet on the table.
Well,
Well,
Corey
I don't
speaks
know
up.
if
Well,
means he doesn't have
that
any manners.
seems a bit disrespectful. I mean, I'm not huge.
You don't like them. Why do you care? if I put my feet on the table.
Well, I have manners.
And see, that's how we ended up in this situation in the first place. People were too worried about upholding decorum to stand against the tyranny of
Okay.
Sir Liam McCarthy and the others.
Okay. I think that may be a separate conversation that you need to have there, Haley.
You're right.
You-
We can go back to the room to finish having this conversation about whether manners are important in politics.
Okay. Well, thanks for visiting the library, I guess.
It's a beautiful library.
Thank
It
you.
is.
I try very hard to keep it up to date.
Ruth, do you have any thoughts on the cataloging system?
Well, I mean, I think the cataloging system really defies any need because, I mean, Cora has curated it so well that the information just falls right into where you need it.
Yes, that took many
Literally.
years to perfect, especially with all the different dialects that people have coming through here. Sometimes people don't pronounce certain words correctly, and then the books don't hear it. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful.
All right. Like I said, none of you have a library card, and none of you can get a library card because you're not citizens of the kingdom. So I asked you not to take any books out of here.
How do we become citizens of the kingdom? Just out of curiosity.
It's actually quite a simple process. You basically, there is the sole citizen, and then there's the dual citizenship, which hasn't been available for the past few years. If you became a sole citizen of the Kingdom of Go Rule, all you'd have to do is just give the last few addresses of your dwellings,
Sure.
and then you write a letter to the prior government that you lived in, stating that you no longer want to be a member of their country. And then we do a quick background check, and then Bob's your uncle. We give you a temporary living space until you find a permanent dwelling.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they
Kind
do
of
that.
sounds like applying for an apartment.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, I don't require anyone to put a deposit down.
Oh,
That
that's
seems
good.
a bit barbaric.
Is there a fee for the application?
Oh no, we foot that bill.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well,
It's
thank
not sort of
you.
like an apartment, except like the apartment's gonna get like destroyed in like 2 days with a lot of fire and blood and screaming and everyone being really sad. Is that what you described,
Yeah.
Haley?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Your Majesty. Look, I know you feel confident in your army and stuff, and I respect that. But are you like absolutely sure that things are just going to be, Jim Dandy Ginger Peachy?
What?
That things are going to be hunky dory.
Thank you.
I don't think Cora needs an
Shout out
army.
to
I
that.
think Cora just needs Cora.
I have all of the faith in the ability of my army to protect the walls of my kingdom, and if they can't, I will protect them at all cost. So, the army of flame has not fallen yet in all these years, and they will not fall anytime soon.
All right. Does this change at all our appointment tomorrow evening?
Oh, for the trial of Morbius?
Yeah.
No, we will be on trial tomorrow alongside with Derek. I got a message from my wife, and we're going to do a dual trial to save on time.
Cora, this is a little fucked up.
What?
It's just like just a little yucky, you know.
You can
Well, you
you
think
can
we should
keep
get your own
saying
trial?
things and descriptors, but I do not understand what you mean.
Saw right through Akari. But I mean, you're not gonna put off. I mean, like, you do you, but like you're not gonna worried about the army's not gonna fall, sure, but there are like people in that army, and like they're gonna be bleeding and dying holding the wall. But like they'll hold the wall for you, but you're still gonna like do your own thing instead of like
Making sure that it goes.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep enjoying my picnic.
Akari, I am touched of your concern for the people of Gorul, and I know it comes from a place of concern and worry from your experience in the real world outside of these walls. I have lived a very long life, and I have spent many a years cultivating and welcoming people from all walks of life. And I promised all of them that as long as they are within the desert borders, nothing, they will not fall. They will not be hurt. I've kept my promise for these past 300 plus years, and I intend to keep that, including. I will stop at nothing to protect my people. No one will fall in this kingdom ever again. And that includes all of you. As long as you are under the protection of the Army of Flame and in my audience, you will not be harmed.
Emotionally or physically?
Well, physically, your emotions are your own doing.
Okay.
Anyways, like I said, don't take in my books. Goodbye.
Bye.
You all
See you tomorrow.
You all begin to leave, and Akari, the door shuts before you can leave the library.
Scary!
Hello.
Akari,
Yeah? Sorry, are you standing like
uh,
Oh, hi. Sorry. The door shut.
I believe you have something that belongs in the library.
Oh my god, the books. I had totally forgotten that I wanted to look at those later. Yeah. Pick them up, put them on the table.
This is a lot.
Honest mistake.
Where were you holding all of these things? This is
These new this new outfit you gave me has a lot of like inside pockets. Great.
I do remember custom tailoring that.
Mm.
Thank you for being honest. You may
gosh, yeah.
join your friends.
Yeah, the last time that I tried to steal from an establishment, like, it did not go well. I feel like people got shot. There were religious experiences. I don't quite remember. It was all like a blur.
That seems a bit dramatic for stealing something. I wouldn't have gone that far.
I thought so too, but to each their own.
Huh.
People were shot.
I was shot.
People.
Okay, bye.
Me.
All right. You all leave the library. Barrick goes, did y'all find everything you wanted to see? Like, I was just looking up cool things.
I think
No.
we got what we could get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want some cheese, Barrick?
Oh, I would love cheese. Oh, did my sister give this to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Barry,
Oh no!
I don't know what that's about. I feel like maybe we need to talk about that.
Barrick, I've eaten like 6 pounds of cheese. You have to tell me right now.
No, you're probably fine. My sister's really good about pulling pranks on me, and I don't trust anything that I didn't see her specifically touch. And
Okay, but if Akari's been eating it, how on
my
earth?
sister's really good about pulling pranks on me specifically. And,
Maybe it's magic.
Is there like do you have any allergies?
yeah, I'm
Just
deadly
don't
allergic to
know.
bee stings.
But no like food allergies.
Oh no.
Okay.
Probably bees.
You think she poisoned him with something he's allergic
No,
to?
but there was this
Okay.
one time that she offered me a sip of her crystal cola, and like I took a sip and then it just turned into soy sauce, and it was a whole thing.
That crystal soda thing, that was an interesting little limited time craze.
Yeah.
I really don't know what the big deal was. It tasted like normal cola.
It was just clear.
Right. They just didn't add the coloring.
Yeah, which is weird because it makes you think, like, why would they bother spending the extra capital to add the? I could go on. I can go on a rant.
Well, because the non-colored is the lemon lime. We're off topic. Eric, I was going to ask you something serious, but then we got distracted. If you had to rate on a scale of like 1 to 10 how loyal you are to Sir Liam McCarthy.
Oh,
You're asking. That is a loaded question, Haley. I owe a lot to Sir Liam McCarthy.
Sure.
But throughout the years, he always taught me to doubt everything and to. I mean, I didn't tell you this, guys, but me and my siblings weren't always the most fortunate, and there was a time that we were unhoused, and Sir Liam McCarthy took us in for a time and funded the studies for my sister, and basically without him we would not be really alive.
Yeah, so this feels like you're pretty loyal to him.
I owe him a lot, but the thing is, he is a good person. I do believe, and I don't know if he always told me to never trust anyone indefinitely, and including himself. From my own personal experience, he just wants to help people.
Yeah.
He's also a man that has a lot of regret. He's gone through a lot in his life.
Okay.
But if you have reasons for doubt, I would like to hear the reasoning, because
We may have some reasons for doubt, but we may not want to include you in such a conversation if those reasons for doubt were going to get back to Sir Liam McCarthy.
Oh, so you guys don't trust me to keep secrets?
It's not. Should we trust you to keep secrets? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, Barrick.
I'm not a spy for Sir Liam McCarthy. I do intelligence for Sir Liam McCarthy, but
Sure, but you trust and respect him. And I'm not saying one way or another, but if we were to have a conversation amongst ourselves about how we wanted to proceed with some information we may have gotten in the library, or some information we may have gotten during this journey, and some of that information cast Sir Liam McCarthy in a negative light, would you tell him about that conversation?
Haley, I respect him because his respect was earned, but I do not trust him entirely. I don't trust anyone entirely. I don't trust any of you entirely with everything.
Yeah, you just met us a couple days ago.
So like, if you were saying something that was defamatory or something ridiculous, like, I think it's in my best interest probably not to tell him, because then that would look poorly on you and me for not shutting it down. So if you want to say anything, feel free to say something.
Could I get a world's tempo check on him? How likely do I think it is he would report back any conversation we have? Because I don't want to necessarily have to tiptoe around Barrick so that we can actually have our conversation, but at the same time, I also don't want Liam McCarthy to hear everything we talk about.
You can get the sense that he's being very genuine, and you do sense, just from hearing his voice, a little slight feeling of hurt from realizing that you guys don't trust him.
Look, Barry, it isn't anything against you personally. You've been great this whole trip. You've come in clutch a bunch of times. You know, I think your tattoos are pretty rad, but just as you said you don't trust us entirely because you only met us a couple days ago, wouldn't it be foolish for us to trust you entirely, having just met you 2 days ago? 3 days ago? However many days it's been? It's been a long few days.
You know me as long as you know everyone else. So, but if you feel like I am not...
But
if you feel like that my actions up to this point has said otherwise, I will gladly...
Barrick, it has nothing to do with your actions. It has to do with your employer. That's what I'm trying to gauge right now.
Oh, no. We can go back and forth for hours if we wanted to. I will keep your secrets if they are secrets that you want to be kept. I value your trust as much as you should value anyone else's trust in this group. And I hope by the end of this, when we bring Morbius back, you can see that Lee McCarthy is not that bad of a guy. But, like I said, they're your cards. You can decide to show them or not.
Well, they're not just my cards, but I believe you when you say you won't just tell our entire conversation to everybody else. To Liam McCarthy, anyway. What do the rest of you guys think?
I don't think he's the real starting quarterback.
What does
Liam?
that mean?
You don't, Barrick. Don't get into it again.
Yeah, Akari, I'm more asking, do we want to have a fully open conversation about everything we've learned at the library and how we want to proceed forward with Barrick or without Barrick? I am fine with having it with Barrick now, but I just had to ascertain how...
Barrick, could you turn around while we have a quick vote? So it's anonymous?
Yeah, actually, if this is truly a private conversation, I'm just going to walk to our room, and when you guys come to your decision, I'll be in there, okay?
Someone will go get you, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I'm
Barrick.
really good at
Or
waiting
we'll
for other
just
people.
go in the room to have the conversation.
Sure.
Okay, now that Barrick's gone, everyone, we're going to take a vote on whether or not we should trust Barrick with a fully open conversation. Have we had enough time to think about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, everyone raise your hand if you think we should have a fully open conversation with Barrick. The ayes have it. I'll go get Barrick. I'll go to the room and I'll be like,
just go in the room.
Let's just go in the room.
You see,
Barrick, we had a conversation and we had a vote.
Okay.
And it was unanimous that we are going to let you in on the 101 secrets we just learned.
Oh, okay, wow, that's a lot. But also, the suspense is killing me.
Okay, so number one, Liam McCarthy didn't do it alone.
What?
Yeah, he had 2 friends.
2 quarterbacks.
And they've been erased from the history of the Great Alliance.
Huh?
Yeah.
Do you see why Haley was asking you about your...
No,
loyalty?
I guess Doubt, he's never actually said anything about doing it by himself specifically.
Well,
if you look at the history books...
Yeah, but that's someone else writing
denied it.
Yeah, he hasn't actively denied it, which is...
It says Sir Liam McCarthy joined in the war and was able to fight off the dragons, giants, and orcs single-handedly.
Yes, I remember reading that.
Yeah.
I remember writing that. The DM slipping through the cracks.
Like that.
The two others, Sylvia and this
Ezra.
and Ezra. Sylvia was like a builder, and Ezra was a doctor.
And both of them went in the mountains and talked to one.
Wait, hold on. Don't say it again, but one was named Sylvia and the other one started with an E.
Yeah.
Last name starts with an E.
Yeah. E.
Ooh.
That's someone you know?
No. Liam, whose ex-wife was the former Oracle, Elven Oracle, who also has a connection to Fate too, wasn't a big fan of.
Everyone's got a connection to Fate these days.
This is so true. We've met like 8 already.
We met a bunch of people.
2. You've met 2.
Remember how you've been going around and being like, I'm the next god of fate. Everyone should respect
Everyone's
me.
been the god of
No,
fate for a
I
little bit.
never said everyone should respect me. Let the record show I never said everyone should respect me.
Even
I said you should listen to me. I never said you should respect me.
McCarthy said that his ex-wife put a curse on the name that starts with that the anagram is EE.
Just real quick, we've been saying it like a lot. Is that bad?
Yes, because
We've said it so much.
when you say it, it lets you know, it lets her know where
Oh, it's
you
totally
are.
taboo.
Oh, so we're
What?
basically calling them. We're reinforcing what Derek did.
Wait, is McCarthy's ex-wife with Death?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Okay. Well, fine, whatever. But they're already on their way here anyway.
Well, that's it's different if like regular servants of death are coming on our way, and then if Lilith is here, then that's a
Oh, yes, she goes by Lilith?
yes. Let me look at her.
Oh, I forgot I'm obsessed with her.
Yes, you are obsessed with her.
Zuzu, not Ruth.
Yes, Lilith Winfeld, formerly known as Lilith McCarthy. She is she's frankly Death's right-hand woman.
Yeah.
Hey, a woman in STEM.
Is being an oracle a STEM field?
I think so.
Deals with bones. I wrote down her power is bones.
Power
so-
is bones.
Good point.
That's science.
So she's kind of like super fucking powerful and has the ability to resurrect the dead pretty quickly.
Does the Empress know about this curse? Because the Empress didn't seem to have any issue saying the name or us saying the name.
Yeah, that does give me some relief. I guess maybe she has something protecting the city with that from that curse.
She's like Derek, and she actually is in on it the whole time.
She does seem to really think that there's no cause for concern about Death's army being on its way here and arriving tomorrow night.
Also, is Cora a giant?
We told you that.
What?
Yeah.
Death's army is on its way here, and it'll be
Yeah,
here tomorrow
yeah.
night.
We
Oh,
did
yeah.
tell you that part.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure.
Cora's a giant. I mean, she's tall.
No. I'm saying, is Cora a giant? Because she's 7 feet tall, and also I'm pretty sure she took out the rest of the Great Alliance after they made the obelisk and Zara.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, we
I
saw
don't
like a vision thing about that.
But like, is she like one of the last giants or something? And then I was like, do you know that girl? And she was like, I know her very well. But she said it like the way Cora says it. So she
Right,
went like,
she said it
I
as if
know
she
her
was
very
saying,
well.
it is me.
Mm,
And it is me.
interesting.
and it is me.
And it is me.
I mean, I don't know any of that. I know very little about the Empress, and she doesn't seem
Well,
to like
us
talking
too,
to me.
because she doesn't like to tell us anything, which is fair.
Well,
Yeah,
we're all
also,
strangers.
But then
Are
she gets
all-
mad at us when we're
He's
acting
summoned
sketchy.
us here.
And also, where are all of her fucking citizens?
I did.
She's probably hiding them under the
They're on
underground.
vacation.
I bet you they're all. Oh wait, no. During the day they're underground
That's what she said.
That's what she says.
because it's hot.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Is it nighttime now?
At this
You
point,
think
it
there's
is
an
nighttime.
obelisk under the
Is
ground?
Can we
Are
like
there
look
people
out over
outside?
the town and see if people are out and about?
Yeah, do you guys
Here,
want to
I'm
go
wearing-
out?
I'm wearing local attire.
No, we just want to look out the window.
Yeah, I mean, you can look out and no lights, no people. The houses are
I mean,
all
maybe
dark.
they literally just all live underground, or maybe they're all giants. Maybe
they're
they.
all the obelisk.
Oh my God! What if she has imagined her whole kingdom? But why are there no people? But there's a ton of soldiers.
To defend the where the people are.
Yeah, so I guess
maybe she
everyone.
has them locked safe somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, wait, hold on. I
Or
don't remember
five.
your fucking name. Hey, Haley.
Yeah.
Sorry. I knew it started with an H. Where is the Empress, like, right now? Like, with your strings, your threads? Is it up, down? Is it all around?
Sam, is the thread connected to the Empress still in the same general direction we came from?
No, it looks like it's moved.
It looks like it's moved. Does it look like it's moved towards another part of the palace that we know about? Like either the throne room or her in the general's chambers?
I would say Haley doesn't know this direction, but Ruth definitely knows the general direction of the sleeping quarters of the Empresses.
Okay, I explain the direction the thread is going in. So I don't think she's in the library anymore.
Do we think she's asleep?
I mean, probably
I mean,
it's
nighttime.
nighttime.
I hope she's not. She has like a impending war to, get ready for. And but also maybe she should be getting sleep because she has an impending war tomorrow.
All right.
And 2 trials.
Yeah, as long as we're bringing Barrick in on everything, I want to bring Barrick in on 2 other pieces of information that we haven't filled them in on yet.
Okay.
So, piece of information number 1. When we met with Sir Liam McCarthy and Father Ignatius and Elizabeth Foster, Dr. Foster, you know how I can see the threads connecting people? Well, there was something fucking weird going on with their strings.
Okay.
Father Ignatius didn't have a single string to fucking anyone. Liam McCarthy had 1 single string, and it was connecting him to Dr. Foster. And it was a very thin string.
Which is weird because if he's helped you so much, there
I
probably should
expect
be
to
a
have
string
seen
to you.
right. And
Okay.
I would expect to see strings between him and other people as well, including, frankly, his ex-wife. So that's just unusual. It's extremely unusual to have only 1 single connection. And I haven't seen anyone with no connections. Unless, of course... Well, no, that's not even the case. Even the people in Death's army have a black thread connected to Death.
Weird. Did you... I mean, we were just in a library with a lot of information. Did you look up anything about the strings?
No, because I don't know whether to trust Cora with that information yet.
I mean, that's fair. I get that. I can probably give some reasoning with why McCarthy had very little about his strings or had a very faint string to one person. Being his ex-wife and now enemy could see the strings. I believe he's probably figured out a way to mask his connections somehow. I mean, the thing is, like, he's called Sir Liam McCarthy the Great. And it's because he's pretty good at what he does, and he's had to do a lot of things.
And, he also committed genocide. So,
Yes, that is what the history books say.
yeah.
And as for Father Ignatius, I don't really know a whole lot about him, so I can't give you more information. But that is strange, though.
It's just a little bit of cause for concern, and it set me off as cautious and concerned towards them from the very beginning, from day one. Aside from the fact that they are the government, and I, just don't like the government.
Okay. Well, interesting.
Eric, what was the plan for, you brought us out here. What was the plan for bringing the blood assassin back?
Sir Liam, the plan was
they can do a lot of stuff.
The plan was to interrogate him, to give up any information to help overturn the battle against the Servants of Death. Regarding the information that they're looking for, I'm not too sure on what, but I would assume locations of bases and possible future invasions. And if they can, I think at one point they were going to try to brainwash him to try to be a guy on the inside.
In terms of getting him from here to back
home. Well, we would travel the way back is the plan. Unless the Empress gave us a ship to bring us back. That would be a lot faster and less legwork for us.
Oh, well, the Empress is definitely not going to give us him.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
she's absolutely not going to do it.
When we met with the Empress, it really seemed like there was a -% chance that she would give this guy up. It mostly seemed like she wanted us here so that she could, I don't know, judge our worthiness, because she had seen through some fate vision from Mama Gugosh that we were the key to, ending all this madness or whatever.
So that means we probably did get her to give him up to us?
No, what I'm saying is she's absolutely not going to give him up. She was just using it as an excuse to meet us.
Although in your vision, he was on the boat with us, wasn't he?
No.
Oh.
There were... I saw 2 different versions of a vision of us returning back to Nexus City, either with him or without him. In either version, it's fine. We're still going back to Nexus City.
Okay, so...
I don't think we're convincing her to give him over.
So the mission is a failure.
I don't know, because I feel like this whole mission, my perspective has changed from what this was supposed to be about. I don't know that it's necessarily even supposed to be about getting this guy back. I know that's what they want. But I think in terms of, the grand scheme of things, of ending it, I don't necessarily know how much it matters that we get this guy home. We still we still have a chance to fulfill our fate one way or another. Either way.
Okay. I probably will get fired from my job. But if you guys sorry.
That's why we didn't want to tell you.
No.
Yeah.
No. My sister kind of reamed into me when we were talking in here by ourselves. Flora was laying down in the other room. She kind of wants me to quit anyways. So this is more, I guess fate's way of telling me that I should probably quit working for the government. Oh, I don't even have a pension.
I bet that Amy can get you some sweet gig in Zara.
That's what she said.
There's just a lot of puzzle pieces that aren't quite fitting together about all of this. And I don't know how much getting the blood assassin back to Nexus City actually helps us put the puzzle back together.
Gotcha.
Also, Cora said she already interrogated this guy or already got information from him.
Okay.
She said she won't give that to the Grey
particularly
Alliance.
willing to hand it over to the government in Nexus City, but I feel like that might be an easier sell than her giving up the guy who murdered her son.
Oh shit, you don't think she put it in a book in the fucking library, did you?
She might have.
What
Well, I
she
mean, we
got?
could go
We
back
go back. We know where it is now.
if it's not destroyed by the end of tomorrow.
It's not going to
We
destroy
could
a
go
book in
now.
North Texas library. Oh, right, with the army.
You can go now.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, in my vision, I did see the army attacking, and it looked pretty destructive, but she seemed pretty chill about the whole thing.
Was there lots of fire?
Was there lots of fire?
Yeah.
But isn't she like the fire girl?
With fire.
So wouldn't it make sense that there was lots of fire?
I guess. I'm just. I don't know.
I mean, she didn't seem
Sam.
so concerned, and she also is probably maybe an immortal giant, so I feel like
Yes, Matt.
I know that the dream that I saw from Blood Assassin was a dream, as opposed to any sort of premonition.
Yep.
But based upon what I saw in the screaming that I heard from his dream, this could be a fantasy that he was having. But if I think back to that, were those... We've heard servants of death die. Do they scream?
Do servants
Like
of
when
death
they're...
die?
Like when the servants of death, like we've fought them.
Yeah.
We got rid of a bunch of them as they were attacking us and Savior. Did they feel pain? Did they?
The ones that were alive and not undead definitely had a reaction to pain. Yes, if that's what you're asking. I will say within the dream that you invaded, you kind of get it was just kind of his fantasy.
It was his fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But applied that. Sorry. But like applying that to what you saw, Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you sure it was like? Did you see screaming? Did you see badness?
I mean, how clear was the vision I got, Sam?
So the vision that you had depicted lots of fire in the servant's death approaching the kingdom.
Okay.
You didn't hear any screams. You didn't see any dead bodies besides the dead bodies that are in the undead that are in the servants of death.
My vision was before battle started, I guess. I mean, there was fire. The armies of the dead were approaching. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of them. But maybe there's nothing to worry about. Maybe the queen's right, and it's all fine. I don't know. I mean, she is the Empress of Flame. Maybe the fire probably was her, right? Maybe the army is not going to be big enough to breach their defenses. It just seems like a lot.
Barrick speaks up. Well, it seems like she's got a lot of things taken care of. What? Okay, so if she asks us, what do we want this guy? What do we want this guy to be? Me personally, as Barrick the person, I want him gone. I don't want him here anymore. But
yeah,
me as a government servant,
right? I mean, look.
But I want to be unanimous. I want to be with what you guys are saying.
I think it's worth trying to convince her to part with the information she got from him. I just don't think there's any convincing her to hand him over.
Okay.
She was very, as I said, circular in her reasoning. You know, we were asking, why bother inviting us if you are so determined to execute this guy? Why bother letting us make an argument in front of you if you're so determined to execute this guy? And she basically kept saying, to see what your worth is. So I mean, I think she's just looking for us to impress her, but I don't think she's willing to let this guy go.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Easy idea.
oh, go on.
I don't think I like it, but it's the idea that's in my head.
That's
If he gets killed,
Yeah.
what happens to servants of death when they're killed?
So typically they get just recycled, but
They go back to death.
here's the thing. Whenever the servants of death attack or fight against the Great Alliance, death's forces increase. Whenever they attack the army of flame, they usually either stay the same or decrease. So I don't know what they're doing different to what we're doing, but it seems like when they kill servants of death, they stay dead.
Have you guys tried fire?
I mean, yes.
Oh, okay.
What are you thinking, Akari?
Well, it sounds great. If there's a way to keep him dead, then we should do that. Maybe. But he doesn't want to go back to Nexus City. But I'm sure he doesn't want to be completely ended. So what if I just hold on to him?
Huh?
You want to take his soul?
Do you think your
No,
constitution is
no,
strong enough for that?
I don't think so. But
Is there any danger of his personality overwhelming you and taking you over?
probably. Thunder the Dragon can totally do it. Mark never could, though.
Well, Mark seems like a little bitch, but that's.
I mean,
another-
third string.
He
Third
was
quarterback.
He was the third string quarterback. So
Oh, that's the reference you were saying about Liam. Okay.
yeah.
But he also did kill Xavier, so
Oh, that's okay.
I
don't like my plan, so if there's another one, let's go that direction.
mean,
I feel like we don't have to resort to that.
I feel like we don't have to resort to that. I feel like there is information we could learn.
But maybe we can just convince Cora to give that to us.
Maybe we can just
because
convince
we
Cora.
are her very special boys.
Yes. Right. I think the other thing I think after we wrap up our business here, we do need to figure out what a plan of attack for finding Sylvia and this EE is, because I think they are the key. Marrika, did you say? Sorry, Marrika. Sorry, Marrika's a character in Elden Ring. Marrika, did you say that E is the reason why Death unleashed Death's Veil?
Yeah, I think technically Ellinor got that information. Ellinor
Yes.
and I put that information together.
I see.
Yeah.
Much like searching in a library for one specific subject, there's a lot of little bits from very different books that you have all collated. You did learn that EE, Ezra Evenwood, was the reason why Death's Veil was put onto the world.
So he's related to that.
Because he figured out a cure for death.
Right. So he's related to that. And then Sylvia's related to the obelisks, which I'm pretty convinced we have to do something about too. Now,
Well, yeah, Ruth has to destroy them.
Well,
Well,
one
also
told-
the obelisks, before they were like there was a lot more magic, so Death he couldn't have as much power as he does now.
Right. And yeah, so I think we have to find both of them. Now, Flora, you were looking into judgment. You've been quiet. What did you find anyway?
I didn't find too much. Fairies are really valuable for our luck. I still don't really know why he gave me my luck back, and I still don't trust it, but I didn't really get any information that clarifies much of anything, other than he probably thinks I'm valuable because I'm lucky. Well,
Do we think
now I'm lucky.
that judgment is on the same side as death, against death, or kind of neutral in the whole thing?
I'm guessing, and I'm only guessing, that he's probably fairly neutral as long as he gets what he wants. Because when the mall attack happened, he sort of seemed like he may have been working with them a bit, but I also think he was just sort of taking advantage of the situation.
Didn't he get
You muted yourself.
You're muted.
Didn't he get his job taken away? Judgment? By death?
Not by death. So with Death's Veil going on, Death is no longer ferrying people to their afterlife. He is basically taking all souls that are given to the afterlife and using them to fuel his army and more cases of Death's Veil.
So
Maybe he wanted to give you your luck back because he wants someone to stop the whole Death's Veil business. Maybe he wants his job back.
That could
yeah,
be.
if
Restore
souls
balance.
go back to going to the afterlife, then his job has meaning again.
Yeah, that could be.
Or maybe he wanted to retire. Who are we to know?
I
Right.
sort of doubt that, but maybe.
And then, Akari, you said you learned what about Kitsune?
We like never die. But, like, we totally die.
Bear goes, okay. What does that mean?
Like,
Is this
apparently we come back and we like shepherd, we help Fairy or Solar. You know, historically, I don't know how many there are, but
So that probably explains why you can have souls sort of tied to you. I don't know. I mean,
and the more I absorb, then the like stronger I get. But also like the more not me I get.
Yeah, that makes me even more against you absorbing the blood assassin.
Yeah, you know, that is a really good point.
So
I feel like there is this is kind of how I see it, and if anybody else sees it a different way, let me know. But I think the next step after we wrap up all this business is in the future, you know, we're gonna have to find some more information to do any of this, but find Sylvia and EE. We know Sylvia is bound in some way. Learn from them essentially how to destroy the obelisks. Presumably freeing everybody trapped within and also unleashing more magic, which should weaken death so that perhaps we can kill Death so that things can go back to the way they were before he took the job, which could include Kitsune going back to ferrying souls, could include Judgment getting his old job back.
Yeah, I mean, that all tracks. Sounds pretty good to me. It's getting kind of late, and we haven't rested since we traveled throughout the desert. I think we should all retire, have an early night. We might have to do some things before the trial tomorrow, or we might just have some time and maybe look up more things tomorrow. But it seems like we have a big day tomorrow, so let's all get some rest.
Yeah, I gotta put some aloe vera on these sunburns.
I told you,
Okay,
you should have been wearing SPF 50.
Yeah, it's not good enough. You see how pale I am?
Fair enough. All right. With all that said, we're going to end tonight's session here. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you all next time to the trial of the Blood Assassin. Bye.
Bye.